Not going to win the division, but how about their playoff hopes as far as a wild card goes?
Well, they're going to need some help along the way, I think, from other teams, other divisions, but it's not lost yet. Russell Wilson gives you an opportunity every time you take the field. The offensive line playing way better than expected. They're running the football like the Seahawks of old, led by Chris Carson. And that defense, not a lot of recognizable names, but playing at a pretty decent level, somewhat what we suspected in preseason, that Pete Carroll was excited about having a bunch of no-names, that maybe he could mold again, and I think that's what we're seeing with Seattle. Right now, tracking towards being a 500 team, but if they can put together a 3-game winning streak somewhere, they could have a shot at it.
And if you're looking at the end of the season, great news for the Seahawks. 4 of their last 5 games at home. That one third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it. Now remember, they were unsuccessful earlier in this first quarter. Going for it on 4th. They're going to try a second time. They'll indeed go for it with Wilson. He finds his man, Baldwin. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Facing a 4th down, they come away with 18 yards and the first down conversion. Now it's Carson. As he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing,
and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Avery Williamson coming hard from that linebacker spot. He drops him for a loss of 11. From midfield now, here's Wilson. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. A surprising move here on the opening drive of the game. And this defense will take over right at midfield. New York Jets set to get the ball back again. A franchise, as you look back in history, Charles, they made it to the conference championship game in 2009-2010, but a lot of the years since then have been kind of a perpetual rebuild. What do they need to do to get back on track?
I think on offense, build around the rookie quarterback Sam Darnold. Offensive line, continue to beef it up, but they've got to get some playmakers out wide on the perimeter. Guys that scare defenses in order to open up the running game and make Isaiah Crowell that much more effective.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On 1st down, it's Darnold. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. He'll get a couple yards on that one, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. With Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Jets. Now they'll run it on the taunts. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
Any team that runs the toss and runs it successfully, that means they win the battle on the edges. That means you seal the edge in order to let your back get to the corner. They got it done there for a very nice game.
A 1st down throw, Darnold. Forced out to his left. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. Sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Detroit! Detroit!
On second down, Darnold. His pass caught at the 4. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. They'll wind up getting 7 on the completion, but they'll still be faced now with a 3rd and goal situation. This stadium once registered as the loudest roar ever recorded, and you can hear them now. 3rd and goal. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it down close to the goal line, but not quite in. This defense bending but not breaking. It's a gain of 3. It's now 4th and goal. On now is the kicker, Jason Myers, for the field goal try. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. And he missed it. It's no good. And this will remain a scoreless game. So that's when you almost never see at this level a wobbler from very short range, and it winds up no good.
All right, Brandon, if he slipped or someone got a hand on it, then I could understand it, but it's almost like you heard a whistle or something to stop this swing. A very strange result, especially for an NFL kicker.
Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
2 minutes remain in a scoreless first half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. He lost 6 there on the first down play. Clock running, and the Seahawks, they're running 2, trying to speed up to the line of scrimmage. To throw is Wilson. To the right side, and he's got more complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. Now Wilson. And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. Darren Lee in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
12. Gotta go.
Now Wilson on 2nd down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Give him 30 yards there.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Leonard Williams in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. Play action. It's Wilson. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. An inaugural trip to the red zone here for the Seahawks. First and 10 at the 19. From the shotgun, Wilson. And he's got it. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal. They'll run it. This is Process. And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. C.J. Process, as the first half is winding down. And the Seahawks are able to strike for 6. To kick is Janikowski. This will be taken in at the 1. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now the Jets offense gets ready to head back on the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now he's going to go up top over the middle, and that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. Robbie Anderson, the man he was looking for, and that'll bring up second down. So after the incompletion, second and 10 from the 22. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now the Jet offense about to take over as they head out onto the field. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Now it's Darnold. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Off of play action, Darnold. He's going to let this one go deep. Oh, he can't hang on to it. Almost intercepted. They would have loved the first pick of the game there, but at least it does get him to fourth down. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
They're going to go. It's Darnold. And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line. Frank Clark. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. Breaking the huddle, first and goal as the return team has set him up with golden field position. They'll try and run forward with Penny. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty, first and goal. Penny will try to punch it in. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Rashad Penny punching it in from a yard away. And out to kick is Janikowski. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And last time out, went for it on fourth down, turned it over, gave him great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on fourth down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. On first down, Darnold. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with him.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 21. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. Well, Charles, the trade deadline obviously is now passed. So you look back at the number of guys that went different places. Which trade caught your eye the most?
Well, there are a few of them, and they all had one thing in common as far as I could tell. They're all made with the idea of that team winning big this year. Ha-Ha Clinton-Dix from Green Bay to Washington. Washington in first place at the time when they make the trade. They're thinking about winning their division and advancing in the playoffs, getting more help in the secondary. How about Golden Tate going from Detroit to Philadelphia? The Eagles trying to defend their Super Bowl championship, adding a receiver for Carson Wentz. Eli Apple from the Giants to New Orleans. They're thinking about not just defending the NFC South, but maybe having to play the LA Rams again in the playoffs with another corner. And Amari Cooper going from Oakland to Dallas, because Dallas believes if they have a threat out wide, it'll open things up for Ezekiel Elliott and get the Cowboys back on the beam.
Yeah, some decent names, some big trades. By the way, my favorite name in the league, Ha-Ha Clinton-Dix.
No. Second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up, but they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
And this will be taken at the 13. Oh, look at the juke. Give them 11 yards that time on the return, and the Jets will take over 1st and 10. New York set to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
That one goes for 36 yards.
Lucky 56.
Darnold on first down. And his throw is going to be incomplete. Bradley McDougald that time able to knock it away.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
On 2nd and 10, Darnold steps away to his left. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down. Throwing here on 3rd down, Darnold. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 24. And he'll take this back all the way up past the 45-yard line. Well, looking forward to some key matchups in Week 11 of the NFL season. How about Pittsburgh at Jacksonville? What do you see in that one?
Yeah, it's a rematch of the AFC Division Round game last year. And remember 2017 when Jacksonville announced itself as one of the better teams in the league? They beat Pittsburgh twice. Once in Pittsburgh in the regular season, then in the division game in Jacksonville, and everyone's hoping it's half as exciting as that matchup. Jaguars won at 45-42, and Jacksonville fans can only hope that playoff Blake shows up at quarterback.
And it's hauled in by Ed Dixon. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A good pick up there of 20 yards. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart.
End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett, 31 yards. And the interception by the Seahawks D leads to a touchdown. Janik. To kick is Janikowski. This will be taken in at the 1. And he will be taken down here on the return on what will wind up being the Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Dumps off to Powell. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. A gain of 4 on the play. And it'll be 2nd down. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
Flushed out right. Now he'll let it go deep over the... Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Give him 30 yards there.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat.
Got a man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jets. Neil Sterling from 21 yards away. And the Jets are able to cut into this deficit.
That's almost just not right. You cover everybody, but those tight ends, they can be awfully reliable.
Very reliable. Defense just has to hate those guys.
Just try to have either with size, speed, or maybe even just strength.
Tyler Lockett now with a return. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you score,
he'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
A second down carry for Procise. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on third down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front.
And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by the linebacker, Avery Williamson. And the return will stop right around the 25. 2-score game here in the fourth, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Frank Clark in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon.
Gone! Detroit!
Here's Darnold now on second down. This is caught. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Robbie Anderson, 31 yards. And the interception by the Jets D leads to a touchdown. Here's Myers now to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. I'm curious to see, Charles, about the play calling on this drive. Last time out, the interception that led to a touchdown. Here we are. I mean, very close, 1-score game.
Yeah, and if I'm a defender, I'm actually chirping to you on the other side of the ball, saying, hey, we picked off the last one. What you going to do about it now? So when you do throw the football, high percentage, but throw it with confidence. Because if there's any hesitancy at all, it could end up in enemy's hands again.
A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
Alert!
Now Wilson on first down. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Throwing is Wilson. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Trumaine Johnson. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Darnold. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9.
Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone.
Darnold from the gun. Complete outright to Kurtz. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. A Jet first down, 18 big yards that time. He's been quiet all afternoon. He may have just come up with a play of the day right there, though.
Obviously, it's not the volume in which you get done. It's the quality, and that was a quality catch right there.
Gone. Hot.
He's back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Give them 12 yards there, and the Jets have a first. First down now, but that clock rolling.
Okay, there's 3 timeouts left, right?
Think you got to use one here, don't you?
No doubt about it. I'd use one right here.
He'll look to throw. That's going to be caught. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. 23 yards on the play. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7. But first things first, they need to score as they come up on first and goal. They'll try and punch it in with Crowell. And he is in. Touchdown, New York. Isaiah Crowell in the final minute. And the Jets are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the fourth. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild fourth quarter. On the return, the All-Pro 2 years ago, Tyler Lockett. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. They need to get this around the 40 to have a chance to win it in regulation. From the 40, it's a 57-yard field goal, so that gives you a gauge.
And all they're trying to do now is pick up yardage in good chunks and get out of bounds to stop the clock. If they end up running a play and get tackled in bounds, they're worried the clock may run out on them and finish the game.
And they'll have to be careful how they handle this. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. They run it with Carson. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. But just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. Wilson to throw. And the tight end Dixon left side. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Carson. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Wilson trying to urge his guys to go faster and get set at the line. And with inside of 10 seconds, 8 to be precise, we get whistles and a timeout on the field. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
And his kick is good. From 52 yards away, he gets it to go. And they'll be celebrating in Pioneer Square tonight. The Seahawks have won the game. Well, Charles, we saw a comeback bid fall just a little short, but give them credit. They were able to hold on, withstand that comeback, and ultimately win it by the slim margin.
And bottom line, when it's all said and done, they don't ask you how much you won by. They just want to know, did you win? And that they did.
start spitting. Too much drive, need some power steering. Cruising to a better vision, y'all. Can you hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me now? Can you hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me now? Can you hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me now? Can you hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me now? Mama, dirty the roads that I've traveled, but I'm on my way. Mama, trust all the steps on my journey, 'cause I'll be okay. I know it's gotta hurt when you know you could've had a president. Guess that I would rather be the man. Maybe one. Hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me now. Can you hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me now? Can you hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me now?
First opened way back in 1924, but renovated in 2002. There's a look inside venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. This was the scene a moment ago as the Bears emerged from their tunnel. Ready for football are they, and ready for football are we as the Bears get set to match up with the Los Angeles Rams. Cody Parkey now ready to get this one started. And off we go from Soldier Field. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
Here we go, guys. Here we go. All right. That's 20. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
On first down, it's gone. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. On 2nd and 10, gone. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Leonard Floyd in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. Third and long. It's gone. It's complete. This is Todd Gurley. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down. They are going for it. Gone. A hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Bears are going to get the football back, and they're going to get it in great field position.
Hey, 18. Rands up.
On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. Flush to his right. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal. A first trip to the red zone for the Bears. They're looking at a 1st and goal from about the 9.
Move. Rands up.
Trubisky will throw. Buying time to his left. And he slings one that's incomplete. Trey Burton, the one he was looking for. And it's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Now it's Trubisky being chased out with it. Diving for the end zone, and the ball's knocked out. And now the Rams have got it, going the other way. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And the Los Angeles Rams, they continue to be a great story this season. A solid team. That wonderful start, although they did lose Week 9, obviously, to New Orleans. So the 72 Dolphins celebrated again.
Yeah, they got a chance to hug it out and still be the left.
And he's going to be taken down. Goff is sacked. Leonard Floyd in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. To throw on 2nd down is gone. And Cooks has it over the middle. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
What I loved about meeting with these coaches before the game is we didn't even have to ask any questions. They told us that they were going to be aggressive and push the ball downfield. They weren't successful on that play, but look for them to try it again later.
A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And the Bears take over. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And so close to hitting pay dirt last time, fumbling down near the goal line. Now, how does that affect their psyche this time around?
It's a tester, that's for sure.
Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Michael Brockers in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Now Trubisky to throw on second. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. And a nice gain at 21 yards. From midfield now, here's Trubisky. And the hook up here to Allen Robinson. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. He got 29 yards that time. They'll throw on first down with Trubisky. Over the middle, complete. It's Cohen. 10 more there and another first down.
Nice little nifty play for him there. That's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backs out of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody covered.
Trying to get it to Robinson, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. And to the 12. That's where it stops. The return is halted at the 12-yard line.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Gone. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Leonard Floyd. And they will score. Pick 6 for a Bears touchdown. Short throw, pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This one fielded at the 5. Now a hit and a loose football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
As that ball got away from him and he saw the opposing team recover it.
You felt his pain?
Oh, I felt his pain, and you know what was going through his head. Tuck it away. Take care of the ball. All the things he hears all week in practice, he didn't carry it over into the game.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Yeah, and that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. And we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed a big hit for a loss. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch. But underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get. Because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
Here's Trubisky to throw. And he's got Miller. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. Jordan Howard taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Bears will extend their lead. And Charles, he's able to dive in there in a short yardage situation.
Just find a place to get to the end zone. Didn't matter where it was, but once he did, used his nose for the end zone and dove in.
This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 at their own 26. Here's the first carry now for Todd Gurley. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And that's off the mark, incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Out of the gun, gone. This is caught, it's Cooks. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. And that goes as a gain of 37 on 3rd down.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick up...
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Check. 2 for 66.
On 1st down, it's Gurley. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line is just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
A pair of negative running plays, and now they're looking up at a 3rd down at 17 to go. Here's Goff. And the open receiver, it's Robert Woods. And he'll go down at the 28. 14 yards is the pickup there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. And Zerline's kick is good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
Yeah, things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit and forced the field goal.
And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Onto the field now come the Bears. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
Hey, gotta go.
On 3rd down, Trubisky. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. Now let's see how the offense still out there. They elect to go on 4th and 11.
18. Red, up. Hey, gotta go.
They'll indeed go for it with Trubisky. Looking deep for Gabriel. And this is going to be incomplete. A surprising move to go for it, and predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And the Rams get the football in outstanding field position. They'll run it now out of the gun. He's able to work free for about 6 down to the 18.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that any time you hand the ball to a back.
A play fake to Gurley. Now gone. Escaping the pressure right. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Prince Amukamara. He's at the 50. 30. The 20. 10. And he will score. Touchdown, Chicago.